Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome to this week's Midweek 180. Now, I'm not at home this week, but very excitingly, I am in our new holiday home in Cornwall, and we have the most spectacular view going. Unfortunately, there's a foul storm blowing in and there's lots of rain and you can't really see very far, but on a sunny day, that is the most spectacular view. And I wanted to film this with that behind, but that also means my lighting isn't very good, so apologies for that. But if you've not seen one of these before, this is my midweek update where I bring you my news, views and information about upcoming reviews, all filmed in one take. I'm going to put 180 seconds in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and that's it, a very simple format. So without further ado, let's get cracking with this week's Midweek 180. I shall start my timer. Okay, first comment last week was the Speed Machine 35, back to his normal tricks. Whoever puts the first comment this week, I will give you a shout out next week. Let the battle royale commence. Now, where are you and what you're doing? I had quite a few of those actually, but my favourite one was from my mate, Mr. Red 10 himself, Humphrey Bradley, who was in Tel Aviv. What are you doing out there, mate? But wherever you are right now and whatever you're doing, put it in the comments below and I'll give you a shout out next week. Now, last week's question was basically, I asked the question, did anybody think that Lewis Hamilton was as good as everybody says he is? Was he the greatest of all time? And there were lots and lots of varied comments. The overwhelming majority of you thought he was an amazing driver. There were some questions about the difference in his behaviour inside and outside of the car, but really interestingly, lots of people said, well, it's very difficult to judge drivers from different generations, and that it would be amazing to have a time machine and be able to bring them all into the same time and put them all in the same car and see just who was the greatest, but no doubt he was a great driver. This week's question was from a few weeks ago where I asked for suggestions for questions from the Speed Machine 35. I thought it was a quite good one. If you could only ever drive one manufacturer's vehicles from now until the end of your days, which manufacturer would it be and why? Very, very simple. Mine, I think I am going to put it out there and say Audi. I'm a really big fan of Audi. I think you get a really great mix of practicality, usability, performance and quality. There you go. I think you probably knew I was a bit of an Audi guy. Anyway, new car news is really quiet this week. I haven't really seen any decent new cars break cover in the last 7 days. Any suggestions out there of cars that you've seen that I should go and have a look at, please stick in the comments below. But pretty quiet on the new car news. I think we're still all getting over the McLaren speed tail from a couple of weeks ago. F1 again, no race this weekend just gone. We've got a race coming up. There's a couple of bits of interesting F1 news getting towards the end of the season now, I know. McLaren have announced that they've signed a guy called Sergio Sette Camara. Never heard of him before, but he's going to be their new test and development driver. Really interesting, Mr. Fernando is faster than you. Rob Smedley is leaving Williams for personal reasons, apparently, but it'd be interesting to see how Williams really recover from such a poor year next year. I just hope they manage to sort that out. And we're off to Brazil at the weekend. Only 2 races left of the season. Be interesting to see if Mercedes can tie up the Constructors' Championship. And then this Friday at 6, I have a very special car. I drove it last week. I've been waiting to drive it for quite some time. This Friday's video is the Rolls Royce Cullinan. Now, you are either going to love it or hate it. A very Marmite car, I know. All I need to say is it was a very, very special car to drive and very cool to look at all the various details. And we'll talk about some of the styling challenges too. And while I was there, I also filmed an amazing film with a McLaren 600 LT, end of time. And that will be coming to the channel very, very soon indeed. But that is it pretty much on time. So yeah, tune in on Friday at 6. For the Rolls Royce Cullinan. I'm going to give you some more content around this beautiful place that I'm currently sat in. I'm likely to be doing a few more kind of road trips down here. It's certainly next year anyway, but yeah, it's a very special place. We've not owned it for very long. And a few of you kind of asked, as I hit 25 subscribers recently, where was the Remy Martin Louis XIII when I hit 10,000 subscribers? And there's a very simple answer to that is, instead of spending £2,000 on a bottle of cognac, I agreed that the money should go towards the purchase of this. It was only a very small fraction of the purchase of this, But we're going to be able to create some great content around this house. So anyway, I'm going to call it quits there. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have done so, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol for plenty more content to come. Again, apologies for the lighting, but I wanted that in the background. And I'll see you on the next film, guys, which is this Friday at 6 for Rolls Royce Cullinan. A very special car and a pretty cool video too. I'll see you on that one, guys. You take care. Drive safe.